YouTube. Today I'm going to show you some tips and tricks on installing an aftermarket blow-off valve. The one that I've chosen to go with is the GFB Deceptor Pro 2. And basically all that does is you're able to adjust the venting preference, whether it's recirculating or atmosphere. Basically the first thing I did was route this cable that it came with, which basically goes to a controller where you can grab it right here. This controller is able to change that. So this is just a part of wiring it up. What I did was run the cable it came with. You see how it's got that little mesh braiding there. Got under here, and what I actually did was find out where the, see where that hole goes? There we go. That's where the hood latch cable goes. So I just used that, and you should be golden. So on the other side of the firewall, you're gonna see here this braided cable right there, and that comes out through back there and in the center of the shot. You can't get a lot of light in there, but pretty much just shove it through there and you'll be able to pull it out through the little hole. Again, what I did was I found out where the hood latch is, and I just follow that all the way back down there. So once you get all that done, you need to take off the stock blow-off valve, which I've already done. Super simple. This is the new one, by the way, and this is just easily taken out with some 10mm socket, and it comes right off. And that is the GFB one. Same thing, it comes with a little gasket. You use the stock bolts, and here's the gasket I'm talking about right there. And stock bolts here, bolt this down, and then connect this wire, of course, to the wire you pulled up earlier, which is here. So that way it's super mad, as the Australians like to call it. Alright, so I bolted that on, and something that you might want to actually look out for is basically my recirculation tube is kind of short for this, and I don't know if it may be because of the cob or just the way that it's designed, but basically what I had to do is attach that first before I bolted anything down, and then you kind of have to tug on this just a little bit, give it some pressure, and make sure you get the bottom and the top bolted. And so far everything looks good. It doesn't look like it's going to come off. There is some bend down here, but not a lot. It's pretty tight. So that's something to look out for. And then of course I've connected this wire to that wiring harness, which runs all the way through the firewall. That thing, doing the loop. Last thing you want to do is make sure you put your vacuum hose back on. This one here. And from there just put everything back together. And then we can finish it up inside the car where we mount our little controller unit. Okay, inside the car, what I've done is pull this piece down, as you can see. It's just secured by some tabs, so just pull straight outward towards you, and it should just come right off. Basically, remember that cord that went all the way from down there? I'll get down here. I've just tucked it in securely behind this little kick panel. And here's the fun part. So here are my fuses, and disregard these. Let me get this in here. Okay. Disregard this fuse and pay attention to this one. So basically, I just bought this thing called Tap a Circuit or Add a Fuse, and you can find out AutoZone, Napa, wherever, or Amazon. And you just need to find a place that you can put this in here. So it's got to have 12 volts, and it's got to be on with the ignition. So I used this little device, some of you might know, to see if I have a hot fuse or not, depending on the ignition. So let me demonstrate. Okay, so we're going to try to do this one-handed. Right now I just got the key in, and let me choose this one here. If I turn the ignition, see? So you need to find the fuse that does that. Once you do, you can tap into it with this tap a fuse thing. And basically, I just ran the cables back up here. I grounded it to that bolt right there, that nut, and positive came out here. I put a 10 amp fuse on it, and there you go. You got a completed circuit, and you have this thing here that, let's see, and there you go. As you can see, it lit up, and turning it, you won't be able to hear it, but alright, now that we've gotten it installed, let's take it out for a spin. I won't go over how to tune the spring preload, because GFB has a tutorial on how to do that. You basically want to just follow the instruction that comes with it. You tighten it if the piston doesn't close before your engine comes to idle, and then you loosen it if you hear fluttering, and then you can kind of keep playing around with the spring preload of it. But we'll just kind of go over the end results and what happened. So right now it's set to be at fully vent to atmosphere. So I'll do some test runs of that, and then we'll do some test runs with 50% and then recirculation, and that'll be it. Alright, so let the test begin.